And now I would like to go for the second lecture. And for second lecture, I would like to invite Professor G.K. Nanda for his lecture and mental health of disadvantaged children. This is his topic. And I request Mr. Ashish Pandey to please present his PPT.
Yes, sir.
Professor G.K. Nanda is
Yeah.
a very dynamic and very, I can say, a very receptive, very collaborative, very helping person, and he has accepted our invitation to deliver a lecture. Professor Nanda has been the former principal and head department of psychology at KN Women's College, Bhubaneswar. He got his DLit degree from the Utkal University, and he has been associated with the Center for Advanced Studies in Psychology, Utkal University, and he has written uh, good books in the field of psychology, and particularly his two books are recently have been published. Disadvantaged Children, and the other is the Psychology of Disability. Very good books, very useful books for to all, to teachers, to students. So he is a very, I consider him as a versatile genius. And after retirement, he has still engaged himself in the producing the books and academically very active. I know he is in a very difficult situation. His wife is seriously ill. He was in hospital, and just to deliver the lecture, he has come from the hospital and he's delivering lecture. I express my sincere thankfulness for his gesture, and I request him to please start your lecture. Professor Nanda.
Namaskar. Thank you, everybody. Well, this is a small initiative that I have taken to place before you. Everybody knows and everybody has experienced that everybody is a sufferer of a disadvantaged situation, and a disability comes as a part in the life. At all period of human history, we have observed it, and there is a difference. There is difference among human beings. All cultures, by culturally, educationally, and genetically also, we differ. So disability or a disadvantage is a part of life. There are so many things, just I will skip one by one. Disability is a part of life, or a disadvantage is a condition which every person individually faces. Children face, there are children who belong to disadvantaged group. There are children who belongs to the disability group. In my previous, my previous speaker was highlighting that just to take out the specs and he is disabled, he is suffering. So disability is a part of life. There can be many reasons for disadvantaged situation, or anyway, please keep. So it can be stated briefly. Disadvantaged situation or a disability, please keep. Disadvantaged situation or a disability may be due to biological lack of, or due to need of certain biological situations, factors, psychological situations, social needs, may be due to some kind of a deprivation, and poverty plays a major role in it. due to lack of environmental facilities, due to, as all of us know, and we have been doing some experiments socially also, a child's four major situations or environments are very much essential for the overall development of the child. First one is the home environment, second one is the neighborhood environment, third one is the school environment, and next is a classroom environment, including the peers. If any lack of any of the situation puts an individual to a disadvantaged position and makes him disabled to some extent. So here culture also plays a role, society also plays a role, and so also the peers also plays a role. So I'm not tell anything about the deprivation, how deprivation comes arising out of home environment, lack of parental stimulation. Throughout the lecture series, we have been discussing the role of parents, and towards the end of my little talk, I will also highlight it. Since 1970, while I was a student preparing my dissertation, I started working on parent education, parent-child relationship. At that time, very few instruments were rather I should questionnaires were available, but we developed certain questionnaires and studied the role of parents. It is so important, Professor Rath, in Utkal, some professors they guide me. From UP also, eminent professors are there. They also gave us some inputs. And the role of parents is very important. That will come to the end. So we have the disadvantage can be classified in many ways. Because of the certain environmental adversity, a person is placed under a disadvantaged group, maybe economic, maybe social, maybe cultural, maybe linguistic, maybe educational, maybe intellectual, or maybe psychological, anything that you can say. But fact stands, in one way, this is one group. The other way, we can classify the children belonging to disability in there are 21 types of disabled children broadly. And in short, they can be subcategorized. Visual impairment, it contains people or children belonging to blindness, low vision, physical disability, leprosy cured persons, locomotor disability. Locomotor disability, as you know, due to accident or some other reason it comes. Dwarfism, cerebral palsy, like not the brain does not function, brain paralysis, something like that. Muscular dystrophy, they come under one group. Intellectual disability, it contains three types of children. Intellectual disability, specific learning, what we say SLD or specific learning disability children, autism spectrum disorder, similarly chronic neurological conditions, which includes multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, which occurs mainly due to neurological problems, and blood diseases, including thalassemia, hemophilia. These are things. Beyond that, there are also other types of disabilities, mental illness, speech and language problem, hearing impairment, all these things come. And moreover, the multiple disability also is another category. This includes all there are different types of disability. So we have categorized disability on the basis of certain characteristics by looking to their symptoms, what they exhibit. These are the different types of 21 types of disability, including acid attack, Parkinson's disease. Please keep. These are the different types of disability that we notice. In addition to that, so disability, the disadvantaged children and the children with disability are differently able. They are competent. Just I want to tell from my own experience. I am associated with an institute which usually keep children with intellectual disability. Once the children come to the institute, they hardly prefer to go back to their home. What can be the possible reason for it? My good friend who has started the institute, we have observed that what they get the love and affection from in the institute so much that they rarely prefer to go to their home, even in vacation. We have come across a typical case where the father is a doctor, the mother is a doctor, but their child was intellectually disabled. The father was a doctor, the mother is a doctor, but the child is intellectually disabled. Somehow they came, the child was kept in the institute. It is Chatra Institute of Mentally Handicapped. Now the name has been changed, of course. And the caretakers took the care, started him teaching, well, starting how to brush the teeth, how to take bath, how to eat, all the things they were taught. In that institute, these things are being taught because the children are brought at a very early age, maybe not infancy, but about 6, 7 years old. From those days, the children are kept here. So the children are taught different, they are trained in different ways. They are doing excellent art. If I have in my mobile, during the Diwali period, they did excellent work. They are able to swim. They are able to sing very well. They are able to play even at the national level. Well, they are differently able. So what is needed? They have a talent, potentiality, creativity, everything is there. Only a little love and affection and opportunity is needed to boost to bring out the talent of the children. So in this situation, without taking much of the time, I would say a few tips to improve the mental health of the children, of the children who are suffering from either disadvantage or disability, some biological, the reasonable satisfaction of a biological needs. What it can be done? The proper nutrition to the mother. If there is so that because that cannot be touched, nobody can do. If there is some kind of physiological deformity, some kind of a medical science may help. Psychological counseling, we can extend. Thereby, the mental health of the children. You see, the moment any stranger enters into an institute, we have observed that they say namaskar. They touch the feet. They may not be able to speak much, but they are doing this. What is that then? The love and affection, due to love and affection. And usually what some people do, even the film actors and actresses and the very VIP, maybe VIP, who is a VIP, I don't want to define, but what they do, in their own birthday or in some special occasions, they go and they give some kind of food or anything, some gift. They toss them, they love them, and thereby they develop different kind of abilities. They are doing art now. They give a pencil or a color box. They give a paper, write something. They do excellent art. So this is so in order to improve the mental health of the disadvantaged children or the children suffering from disability, socio-emotional factor plays a major role, and also when they start learning something, some spiritual means some kind of moral stories maybe may be told to them so that they can develop. In addition to that, the creative activity, just the ayah or the caretaker who is there in the institute, let him write, let him draw something, let the child see it, and it can do. Community participation, what they do? Just they have a garden. The garden is dirty. The teacher or the ayah or the other persons, they are doing some, they are cleaning it. That the children see and they also clean it. They wash the face before the child and the child also washes the face. And the recreational participation, mental arithmetic participation, moreover exercise, yoga and exercise. It is a meditation. We cannot say meditation. There is a yoga, which is a part of exercise that also helps. Music therapy also is another thing that can boost to the mental health of the children suffering from disability. And in addition to that, for them, other things which are very much essential to mine or to what I have understood and observed: healthy eating, normal food, and scheduling meal time. Say every day at 12 o'clock, meal is being given to them. Every day at 7:30, usually they take a tiffin. At 4:30, they take some snacks is being given. At 7:30 in the evening, their dinner is served. So meal scheduling also, because to keep them feel free and to be aware about the meal time, it is done. Sleeping schedule and prioritizing goals. Goals means wearing the dress, reaching the school or a classroom, or whether in the prayer class in time. Moreover, they should be given some chance to express their views. Avoiding harmful substances and some kind of help also is to be given to them so that it can help them. It can develop a kind of a likingness within these disabled children. And moreover, next one. Exploration of different varied stimulations such as sensory, cleaning the nail, or showing a movie, or showing some kind of scenery, and some kind of doing some kind of the clapping, this kind of motor activities. Attention and concentration, developing, motivating the children to focus on a particular thing and so that they can concentrate. Moreover, singing a rhyme, memory function, speech and language function, to say something, and moreover, to listen certain things by presenting some visual images also can help. Executive function, we mean they are the disabled children. Here the executive, the meaning of execute something different. Let them some kind of a mini parliament, or somebody is a monitor, somebody is the head among the disabled group, like that. Moreover, some small sticks are placed, small sticks, make a learning through play. Sometimes it is something like that. 3 sticks are placed, right? Back, please. So 3 sticks are placed, and the child is just make some diagram. 1 stick like this, 2nd stick like this, 3rd stick like this. It is A. Moreover, by singing certain local rhymes, take the concept of a black. In Oriya, I can say most of the people may not understand. The kola to black, crow is black, cocoa is black, and coal is black. This is black. How this is through this technique, the concept of a black is being taught to them. And the blackboard is black, white. The paper is white. This some color is black. Sorry, some other thing is black. The chalk is white. This is white. This way, very elementary level, because they are intellectually disabled children. They suffer from some kind of a problem. So we have to give how they develop the concept. I'm not going to discuss about the how concept is formed. All the things we are all of you are learned professors. Moreover, another thing. So for that, planning and organization, how to educate, how to give some tips to these disabled children. Disabled, we say it is a disabled children, but we should, I say they are blossomed children. Given opportunity, they will rise. Speed processing, how to run. Motor functioning, how to work something, how to work. Similarly, also write. Do some manual work, do some arithmetical work. This is how they can do. They are able to do. Moreover, what one should do in its daily life for survival. They are being taught, they are being not exactly taught, they are being trained that in the morning you get up, do all this daily work. Moreover, when the child does some work, some kind of is a beating some other child, no, don't do it. This is not desirable. This is how. Other aspects include, the tips include personality and emotional changes. Please keep. These are the things, other things come. Flexible coping. If the child is crying, just if they, due to many reasons, the child sometimes they cry. So we have to give them affection. Just let us love them. Let us bring them to our fold and then give them counseling. Then naturally they become cool down. They become creative subsequently. Next one. These are the few things. Linguistic stimulation, democratic family climate, because family plays a major role, that we will discuss at the last. Conceptual stimulation, positive parenting is very important. Social support is very important. Adopting and accepting principle is also equally important. So positive parenting, yeah. In addition to that, we should help the child to develop self-confidence. Yes, you can do. Now you are not able to do. Okay, try again. If not today, definitely tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely the day after tomorrow. Definitely you will succeed. The concept of Indian mother. The Indian mother, to my knowledge, says, if you are not able to do it today, definitely tomorrow you can do it. If not tomorrow, then definitely day after tomorrow. This is self-confidence that the mother gives to the child is very important. And this concept, self-confidence, is to be developed among the children of suffering from disability. Self-protective set, a kind of, if somebody comes to attack, then how to protect yourself. The judo or some kind of training is being given to them. Then openness to variety of objects. This is a car. The car, somebody drives the car, otherwise the car will not move. Similarly, openness to variety of objects. Similarly, a pencil. The pencil automatically does not work. Nothing will be written unless you write. Now hold it, write down. Risk. And for that, what we have to do? 4 things, I believe, 4 principles we have to follow. Risking, innovate. We have to take. We have to accept the challenge. The children, disabled children are disadvantaged children. They are our children. We have to take the risk. We have to teach them. Risking innovation, fostering collaboration. We have to inculcate the idea among the children that, look, we are living together. You have to collaboratively. If somebody has a problem, we have to take care of it. Managing conflicts, don't quarrel among yourselves, and using diversity. Each one is independent. These are the four major things we also adopt. So, and for which the parent-child relationship plays a major role. Priority. Whether the children, whether the parents are giving priority to attend to the requirement of the children, how much time they spend, do they continue the same spirit? Do they continuity means, do they continue the same love and affection? Amount of time and love they devote for the child? Do they take the child to different parts, to different areas to expose them? How intentionally they like the child to grow and develop? And similarly, do they take the child to different functions, social functions in the locality? If some kind of function is going on, do they take the child to develop the social relationship? The degree of density, I mean here, to what extent the freeness is given to the child to mix with other children in the society or the neighborhood? And has the child being taught? I mean, taught means educated by the, because the parents are the first teacher of the child, and responsible. Do they take the responsibility of the child in taking the child to the school? Do they interact with the teacher? And moreover, the range of variability means range of change. That do they take the child to different parts, to other places for maybe picnic or for change of a place, or to mix with the other culture? And moreover, the parent-child, how is the parent-child rearing style? How in what way the parents have interacted with their own children, whether it is autocratic or rejection? Do they force? Have they force the child, or they just love it? One should not be authoritarian. No authoritarian attitude. If the parents are democratic, then definitely the child will be good, authoritative. We have found some factors from results. We have found out some factors, and these are some of them. Equalitarian, equally involved. Play with the child. What the child wants to do, you also try to do. Permissive, indulgent. Involve in the activity of the child. Otherwise, in the adolescent stage, the child is likely to be spoiled. What you want to maybe, what the gender education or anything that we are talking about, be free with the child. These are the stages of human life, from childhood till death. Let us tell. Never ignore the child. The child is telling something, don't bother, you forget. No, this should not be. No laissez-faire attitude. That means don't listen what the child says, let him go and tell him. No, this attitude must be avoided. So that if these things can be done, then naturally it may increase the mental health of the children suffering from, not only children suffering from disability, but also from general children I am taking. And positive parenting is very important. And while talking of the positive parenting, there should not be ordering, no direction, no commanding, no direction. Books have come up, as I tell you, not only the authors who have written books on parenting, definitely they have put their ideas, thoughts, they have consulted many literature. What they have found out? In a positive parenting, there should not be ordering in the initial stage. At the later stage is something different. No direction immediately. You may give a positive direction, but do it. Just no ordering and no commanding. Other things include warning, threatening. These are the things. Just please wait. Warning, no threatening, lecturing, and moreover, advising. Similarly, that's criticizing, no negative thought, And in addition, name calling, ridiculing, you cannot do it. These things should not be told by the parents to the children under no circumstance. And we should remember one thing, that let us be friendly, fair, and firm with the children, so that their mental health can improve. They may improve. Mental health may improve. Professor, next. And moreover, no, let us skip it. Skip it. Huh? Professor Thomas Garden has given some PET, parent education training, some valuable suggestions he has also given. That is all right. Literature says that, we have just referred it, but the Indian culture, what can be the best book, best guideline, best motivating book other than Panchatantra? Or the story books that are available with us? Our old ancient people, they have given, or whether it is Vedas, or Sri Aurobindo's saying, or Buddha's saying, all those stories are there. Through stories, we have to tell the children good stories, moral stories, because they are in the early part of the life. Nowadays, what happens? Children do not know even the neighbor's child. So, what Professor Thomas Gordon has told, well, we accept, no problem. But in our Indian tradition, Indian parents, as I stated earlier, the Indian mother every day gives the best motivating and encouraging thoughts to the child, that if not today, definitely tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, definitely day after, you will succeed, and you will succeed. This is what can be the best motivation than this? I'm telling you, I'm telling one thing. Agent, I do not know how much time is with me. Gratitude the best. This concept must be told to the child. And if somebody has given a toffee to you, tell thanks. If somebody has taught you something, say thanks. This gratitude must be expressed, and this attitude must be developed among the children, and the parents has to play a major role. And while I am talking about the role of parents, teachers also play an equal role. In the school, wherever the children are coming, whether it is a disability school, we should not date the disability school, whether it's a blossom school. If appropriate and proper opportunities are given to the children, to my knowledge, they will prosper, they can surpass. We have seen in our society, children belonging to disadvantaged group have prospered to any extent. They have gone to very, very top positions. Very top positions. They have come from very rural areas or from very socio-economically very bad conditions, and they have gone to the very topmost position. Even each of us know. So, opportunity must be provided to these disadvantaged or disabled children to blossom in their life, so that they become the lotus in the mud. They can become the lotus in the mud. If opportunity is not provided, then definitely will suffer. Well, there are some laws have been formulated by the government of India also. To some extent it is useful, but it is the parents or the teachers who can play the major role in developing the mental health of the disadvantaged or the disabled people. And as a student of psychology, we have a major role. I'm telling one thing. After retirement, some people at different states, they have formed associations, Association of Concerned Teachers. In West Bengal, it is there. In Orissa, to some extent, it is there. Associate ACT. What they have done? They take their breakfast, go to some remote village. They they find out what are the problems in that village. Suppose there is a drinking water problem. Then they sit in that village, discuss the problem with the group of people, and they write a petition, write an application. They tell them, write this application, give it to the sarpanch, then to the BDO or the tahsildar, to the ADM, to the collector, to the um, local MLA. So that this way, if not this is being repeated, suppose there is no electricity. So they are doing, some teachers are doing, retired teachers are doing this kind of work. We as teachers of behavioral science, we should think up and do. In 1980, my teacher told me to go to a tribal area to give training to the teacher, to a Bal Sevikas, who in 1980, no school condition was very bad also. There we went there how to teach the tribal children, how to teach the tribal children. We were giving them training at that time. Long back it was being done by some of us. Now I am not able to go, and this is and government is doing whatever doing is that is there. So as a psychologist, students of psychology or behavioral science, we should think of how best way we can educate our parents, or through we can give some leaflets to the parents by going to the school, because in many schools parent teacher meetings are being held. If now the time has come that we should say, I am purchase me, I am good, purchase me. So many pens are available in the market. One pen, if that you should purchase this, I should purchase this pen because this is the best among 100 pens. Similarly, as students of behavioral science, we must say that we have a positive role to play, and we must come forward. What Professor Saxon has earlier stated, that let us go to the village. Let us now, it is time to go and say that yes, we have a positive role to play so that the society may change. Well, what I hurriedly came, and whatever possible I was able to place, and I would like to uh, thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity, and I will definitely seek suggestions from our learned professors to enrich my knowledge also. Thank you all. Thank you, professors. Thank you. Namaskar. Please, I invite if any query, any question. Sir.
Thank you, Professor Nanda. You have given your lecture in very adverse condition, and we are grateful to you. And very nicely you have presented the problems and solutions of the disadvantaged, particularly the disabled children. And now it is open for discussion, observation, and deliberations. So please come forward.
Uh, Thank you, Professor Nanda. Certainly, in very adverse condition, you came forward here to enlighten us, and that is very heartening. Thanks God, we have very little disabilities. But rightly, you and the previous speaker, Dr. Gautam, reminded us that disability can knock us anytime. It can knock our door anytime. Even if we were not born disabled, anytime we can meet, or anyone in our family can meet an accident and can be disabled. And so far in this series, we have already almost more than 50 lectures, and just a few of these lectures were born out of first-hand experience. Most of the lectures are out of the books, uh, and they don't make as much sense as one delivered by you, which combines your knowledge as a student of psychology as well as your experience being associated with some institution. So thank you for knowledge and experience. And certainly we in the community uh, need to train the parents and the teachers to take care of disadvantaged and disabled children. Sometimes we are very clueless where to go, whom to contact, and not very good institutions are available to take care of disabled children. Not very seriously disabled, but I had an occasion to uh, see again one doctor couple's child who is not too much disabled, but a little bit intellectual disabled. And it becomes very difficult for such a child to get admitted in any normal school, although with little intellectual disability, their uh, teaching and training amongst the normal kids were required. So I just uh, want to express my gratitude to bring about uh, us the first-hand experience and combining that with the knowledge that is there in psychology books. Okay, thank you a lot.
Thank you,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rai, for your suggestions. Now, I request Professor Saxena sir that whatever you have been talking in the past about the positive parenting and all these things, but I think Professor Nanda has tried to incorporate all these things in his lecture. So please give your suggestions, your guidelines for disabled persons. Professor N.K. Saxena sir.
Thank you, Professor Ramjilal. Professor Nanda has combined disadvantaged or disabled children together. I have no experience about disabled children, but I have some. I had myself conducted few studies pertaining to disadvantaged groups. And two types of disadvantaged groups I had studied. Taking hint from Professor Priyag Mehta, who in 1970 conducted a study on tribals. He considered tribal as a disadvantaged group. And it was his finding that disadvantaged group has a higher achievement motivation. Priyag Mehta's studies are, he did a lot of work on achievement motivation.
Yes, yes.
So he found that disadvantaged, the tribal students, particularly in higher classes, then taking clue from him, I conducted such a study on Tharus, one of my PhD students in Lakhimpur area, Tharus, and it was found that Tharus, again a tribal group, disadvantaged group, those who were studying in higher education, their self-image was better. SIQ was a self-image questionnaire was given to them, but school level children, their SIQ was lower. So these were some of the findings. And another, in December 1980, an international conference of cross-cultural psychology, rather the 5th international conference of cross-cultural psychology was held at Bhubaneswar. Professor Arath
Yes.
was the organizing secretary.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
there I had presented a paper on deprivation tolerance. Because everybody who is deprived does not have the same consequences. So deprivation tolerance, the concept I had given, but unfortunately I did not go for, and relative deprivation. So when deprivation is there, so studies of deprivation were conducted, and again in IACCP, International Association of Cross-Cultural Psychology, the focus was on tribals. Tribal as a disadvantaged group. So I don't have any personal experience or exposure about disabled children, but I had some exposure about disadvantaged both. Now again, a person having 5-room house may feel more deprived than a person having 2 rooms.
Right.
A person with high income group may feel deprived, more deprived than a villager or a laborer who earns his daily living. So he may not feel. So again, deprivation is a term which we have to use very cautiously. Professor Gishwar Mishra had published a very good book, Consequences of Prolonged Deprivation. The book was very good, but the tool that he had used, I didn't agree with him, and I discussed with Professor L.B. Tripathi also and Professor Duran Sinha. So I said, he said, his questionnaire was, you are living in 1-room tenement or 2-room tenement or 3-room tenement. So this doesn't measure deprivation. As I told you, that a person having 3 rooms may feel more deprived than a person living in 1 room. So this is relative deprivation, and again deprivation tolerance. So this is something about tribals as disadvantaged group, where I had first-hand information and exposure. So I like to make these observations, and thank you very much, Professor Nandaji, for giving a very vivid account of disadvantaged and disabled children. And again, parenting, you know, that is also my cup of tea. So,
Of course, of course, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Anybody else wants to give any point?
Audible now? Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Quite.
I think it's a very interesting presentation, Professor Nandaji. Wonderful, your own experience reflected in your presentation, and wonderful tips. I think these are very important tips to deal with special children, especially those who are intellectually disabled. Right, so that's a wonderful ideas and the kind of holistic approach which you have adopted dealing with rehabilitation of such a special population. You had raised one very important issue that when children they are admitted in institute and after their completion or during vacation they refuse to go to their villages or their hometown or their home. I think that's a wonderful kind of compliments to staff, the way they must be dealing with them very leniently. Okay, all unconditional regards and all. But sir, it has some consequences later on, because ultimately we'll have to send them back and they should be rehabilitated in society, community. Okay, so the concept which we introduced, that is called sheltered workshop, that we provide them sheltered in such a way, there's a possibility that they may develop dependency on this, and they may not prefer to go out of institute, because they get fully sheltered kind of atmosphere, fully sheltered kind of. So here, I think when we treat them leniently, but at the same time, they also should be dependent, self-dependent. Slowly they should be able to interact, mainstream themselves with society, whatever possible way. So treatment should be given, but at the same time, there should not be dependency model, that they are dependent on the institute. So I appreciate the leniency, appreciate the way stop treating them. But at the same time, there's a possibility. The side effect is introducing indirectly, directly dependency. So I think that part also needs to be covered in our interaction with them. Right. So otherwise, it's a wonderful presentation. I really learned a lot from your experienced and your own way of presentation. Thank you so much.
Uh,
Thank
may I
you,
come
sir.
in?
Yeah.
Just one,
Yes. No,
sir.
sir.
Sir, we are just training, we are giving training to the children, and after some time, not exactly they will be totally dependent upon the institute,
Right.
because as they grow, naturally they go to the public field and to their parents, they go.
Yes.
Only thing is that when the law and affection, they get too much, I mean properly at the institute, therefore when the vacation comes, they refuse to go to their parents. They want to stay
Understand.
here only.
Understand. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very
So this
positive.
is the. Otherwise, we try to make, because how to brush the teeth, how to
Yes.
clean yourself, how to clean the nail. All these things that they are being taught to. Initially, they are being taught. This is how. And I, with a small request and permission from the organizer, this is a small book that recently we have published. I have a few copies. If anybody, any of my colleagues is interested to go through it, just mail me his postal address, and a hard copy, if possible, I will try to send them, and I will like to get the feedback.
Sure.
Thank you.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable comments. And anybody else wants to say something? Okay. Now we are coming to an end, and I request you all that 2 days are left only. So again, we will be here tomorrow at 7, and I think the game is going to be at end, and today's program is almost over. And thank you all. Thank you the speakers. Thank you the participants. Thank to the technical expert for providing this assistance to us. So with these words, I express my sincere thanks to all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Namaskar. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, sir. Namaskar.
Good night, sir. Good night. आशीष जी
जी सर
वाइंड अप किया जाए
ठीक है सर